The spiritual initiation. What is this spiritual initiation process? Even most people are gonna go through this, even if they're not consciously aware of it. They're gonna go through it. Your whole life is basically one. I mean, if we're keeping it real, being honest about it, your entire life is one big initiation process. It's like a remembering process, a realization process. And you can't really learn everything, and you can't really get the full scope of all of the spiritual understandings at once. It would overload us. It overloads the mind, it overloads the senses, the body, all of these different layers of what we are. It needs to play out kind of linearly, step by step, in this physical reality that we're in. So the initiation that I'm going to talk about, it's more like, it's kind of the hardcore shit that you go through, the hardcore process. And I've alluded to a combination of all of these things throughout my videos, like purging the final stuff. And, you've heard of the dark night of the soul. I have a video on the dark night of the soul. You have the, doing shadow work and all of these things. You're being initiated. It's kind of like, how you, in a movie, you'll see these, like, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but like there's these gangs, right? And you're going to be initiated into the gang, and then they like beat the shit out of you to get into the gang kind of thing, or you have to do something. You got to go steal some stuff or whatever, like, and like, oh, now you're part of the gang. Well, there's a spiritual gang, guys. You guys are like hardcore gang members of God. The human race is. And so your initiation into it is enduring the hardcore shit and coming out the other side with understanding, with growth, with a learning, a knowing. Okay, so it's very natural when you start glimpsing some stuff and like stepping, the beginning stages of stepping onto the path. You go into a hermit phase. Either life happens to you and it forces you, it cocoons you, it keeps you somewhere stuck. So then you naturally start feeling stuck because you are kind of stuck. You're like, I can't really proceed forward, but I also can't go back to how my life used to be and how I used to see things. So your shift in perception keeps you in this kind of state of neutral. And it's this, like, in the spiritual community, it's called healing, it's called shadow work, it's called the hermit phase, it's called, all these different labels that we put on it. And it's tough. It's tough because at least for me personally, when I was going through it, I was like, is this ever going to end? Like, okay, I recognize fully that I'm on the spiritual path. I recognize that, like, I'm building some sense of understanding within this stuff. I'm learning all the things mentally. I'm reading the books, watching the videos, listening to the retreats, and anything that anyone does with, regards to spirituality, learning about it. I'm learning mentally. But there takes, like I say, a conscious realization, like an in the moment knowing, making it known to yourself, pulling that stuff down from the mind into now the intuitive understanding, where like all of the stuff that you've read about actually makes sense to you personally, as any, like, individual part of a God spark that you can be. Individually, you get it. Well, what happens now is the more you start understanding, the more you start expanding. And that's the initiation process, is the expansion. Because what happens is, like, you're stuck in our, like, I went through a years long hermit phase where I was stuck, and I was gradually expanding. The understanding was expanding. I was putting things, like I say, in their right place. I was making things understood. Well, at some point there's like this threshold kind of tipping point where you now accelerate. It's like this whole, like the graph where you, like, the hyperbola hyperbole. Hyperbole is just like, over the top something, but I think it's hyperbola. I don't remember my math too well, do I, guys? But it's like, in the graph. So you reach this point where you accelerate into understand. And as you're accelerating, you're expanding because you're realizing that like this individual focal point mind that you used to see everything through kind of goes away. You still have it available to be used, like I say, but it kind of dissipates and you're much, much more in this expanded awareness place. You see it from those, it's like simultaneously you see it individually while also seeing how it kind of plays out in the whole landscape. Okay. Well, while you're going through this initiation process, it can be a bitch. It's going to fuck you up. It's going to try and get you to quit. It's going to try and get you to give up. Because this isn't like somewhere where everyone, like, if we look at human history, not everybody reaches this understanding, the full realization. No, it's a rare thing. It's going to become more common, but it is rare. And that's why when you come across someone that is truly, wise and sees, it's kind of like, whoa, man, this is something else. It's some heavy shit. I kind of want to be around that guy. I want to absorb as much, or girl. I want to be around them and absorb what they have to offer. Make me feel good. I don't know. They make me feel like myself. So I'm like, for those years that I was hermiting, for those years that I had willingly chosen, and it wasn't even my choice, right? Like it's God choosing it through me. But as far as however identified I was with my own story, I was choosing to separate myself and isolate myself and alienate myself from all of my family and my friends. And I'm hermiting. And like I say, licking my wounds kind of thing, right? Like I'm healing. I go down the descent into the hell, and then at the coming out part, you reach rock bottom, you reach the dark night of the soul. Well, like I say, it might not be just a dark night, it might be weeks or months or years. It's different for everybody, man. It can't look the same for everyone because we're all so unique and different, our own little blueprint, right? Our own little fingerprint on life that we put. But it plays out similarly, a lot of the time, but it doesn't look the exact same for everyone. It can't, because it's your own personal, idiosyncratic, separate, unique self. Your ego, your likes and your dislikes, which also like overlap with other people's. So that's why that overlapping is how you can relate to others. Like those overlapping aspects that you're going through that makes sense with other people, that makes sense to you. You can relate, you can resonate, and then learn from it more. It's more potent. It enters you. It has like a certain energy that like it's more easy to get into you. So like you watch my videos, you're like, okay, I like Darius's delivery. I like what he has to say. It makes sense to me. I see some of myself in it. Then it's that much easier for it to be taken into you and grown from. Well, when I'm going through those years, it felt like how many times am I gonna have to get back up again, God? How many times are you gonna have to beat the utter fucking living shit out of me? And then I why does it have to be so hard? Why? Well, it's only gonna be as hard as your mind makes it for you. The degree that you're attached to your mind is what makes it hard. Yeah, you want the better. Yeah, you want your likes to be appeased, your desires to be taken care of. It's natural for everyone. Everyone, that because we're such individual, like I say, expressions of the consciousness, everybody has their own likes and their dislikes and their desires. That's fine. The problem, like I say, is you become overly fixated on those likes and those desires, and then if it doesn't happen that way, God fucked you over. Well, you're in this initiation stage, you're getting the shit beat out of you, and it feels like your likes aren't being appeased, are they? Obviously not. God's trying to get you to let go of something or see something differently. He's keeping you stuck in neutral, stuck in quicksand, stuck in whatever. Why? It's the initiation. You you can't have something until you learn something first, till you experience something, till there's a lesson or whatever. However you want to describe it. And here's the thing. There's this other aspect of it too, which is, like I say, the destiny part. You think that you're choosing anything and you're doing this and like I have my life and this is all happening to me as an individual, all this. This is all God wanting to experience this through you, the tumultuousness into hell and the coming out of it like the phoenix rising from the ashes. He wants to experience that dichotomy, that contrast. That's why it's happening to you that way. Some people don't have to do the full initiation. They just kind of snap out of it and they're like, oh, okay, I see. Like I say, the 1 in 10,000, 1 in a million. They just step into awakening and enlightenment. Okay. But for the vast majority, overwhelming vast majority, you have to trudge through hell, the initiation. It's like, I'm going to jump you. You're getting jumped into the gang. Well, this gang is like the conscious, realized, ascended path. And when you start labeling it that way, it makes it sound like those that are conscious, realized, ascended path, they're better than others. And that's kind of this catch-22. You're not really better. Everyone is there. But it takes a special person. It takes a special life. You guys are special in choosing it, like consciously, right now. In each moment, I'm going to choose it. It's almost like God beats the crap out of you to get you to devote yourself. It's like, yes, sir, may I have another? Yes, sir, bring it on, man. Like, yes. And the moment that you shift your energy into this yes mentality, this acceptance, this surrender, this faith, then God is like, whoa, I finally got through to them. Or more accurately, I finally got through to myself. I woke myself up through Darius, through whatever person. I experienced that. I wanted to experience what it was like to be asleep. I also wanted to experience what it was to be awake. That's all this is. This is all one elaborate fucking exercise and game of that. Multi-layered throughout all of humanity and all these 8 billion souls and all these hundreds of millions and billions of souls that have come and gone before us that led us to now. They're all going through that at different stages. They're somewhere on that spectrum of ascension. That's what the reincarnating means. That's what like reliving all of this over and over again means. You can't learn all the lessons in one lifetime because life is too short in one lifetime to learn all the lessons, to have experienced all the myriad aspects of what this physicality has to offer us. Okay. Now, if you don't buy into reincarnation and reliving and coming and learning lessons, you don't buy into any of that, well, you're going to have a much harder time coming to terms with the nature of this physical reality that you're in. It's going to be much scarier. It's going to be much like, oh, it doesn't make any sense. You're going to be way more predisposed to science because science makes sense. And then you eventually, science becomes your God. You lose yourself in this physical over-analysis, and then you become more and more trapped in your mind, and then it becomes much harder to make sense of this intuition, which is the God spark of you. This feeling, emotional knowingness, which is more on the side of God. It's not God either. I mean, even your thoughts and your analytical self is also God. It's just different polarities of it, different layers of human consciousness. So I got initiated, I got jumped into the gang, and just because I got jumped in doesn't mean it's like over. No, I still got to prove myself. Well, that proving yourself is showing up every day, and the fucking devotion. It's the sincere, like, okay, God, like, what do you have for me today? I go to school, I sit down in class, grand teacher, great teacher one, the greatest of them all motherfucker teachers. What do you have for me today in class today? Well, every waking moment of your life from that initiation point on, where you're like, oh, like I'm on the spiritual path. My life's beating the crap out of me. I got to learn something. What am I? And you're not chasing a learning. Okay, it's just open your eyes. It's just be aware, notice. Well, because you can't notice if you're busy chasing stupid shit. There's no time for it. By you chasing, you're closing yourself off to the true intuitive understanding that's trying to make sense of stuff. So when I say you guys are too much outside and you're too funneling your energy outside, the moment you reclaim the internal, the internality, I don't know, the internal aspect, well, then things starts to shift very quickly, very. And depending on how much karma you have, depending on how much gunk you have to work through, depending on how much mental attachment and association, depending on what you came in with, that process is going to take some time. Might be a couple weeks, might be a couple years, might be a couple decades. I don't fucking know, man. I had to endure a longer path than a lot of people. It's okay. I can't argue with it because it worked. I can't argue with it because it made me who I am. If I'm gonna keep looking at this past and saying, "Oh no, like what, Darius, you had a shit end of the stick, didn't you, man? You inherited a lot of bullshit, didn't you, man?" Well, didn't I choose that? You think I didn't know what was in store for me before I incarnated? You think I didn't go over that with my spirit team? You think you think God didn't make that known to me? I wanted it, so I chose it. The individual soul. But then it wasn't even the individual soul, it was the God implanting that instinct and knowing and wanting. God is the one that's giving you all these things, man. God hides it from you, but it's like when God hides it from you, you call it the devil and the illusion. But that devil and illusion is within the construct of what God is. So it is also God hiding it from you. God makes you fall asleep. God pulls the veil over your eyes. God makes things very weird and super trippy and scary. And then God also removes that so that you can see more clearly gradually. And sometimes it might just happen spontaneously, you just see. And then you still have some shit to work through, and then you fall back asleep. That's just like the awakening and then going into hell again, awakening, going into hell again, whole process. Well, that whole thing kind of is the initiation. It's like this massive umbrella of being initiated into the cult of spirituality. That's kind of what it is. The cult of Dionysus, the cult of Hercules, whatever. It's basically now the cult of God, the cult of humanity, of the universe, of the source. That's all it is. So it's like every time you sit down to read a spiritual book or watch a spiritual video, or you are asking, even if you're not consciously aware of it, you are asking to be made something realized, to be made something unstuck in you, to further you on this initiative. Now, why? Because isn't there a reward? You get initiated. It's like, why would I endure the crap getting beaten out of me? Why would I just keep asking, "Yes, sir, may I have another?" if there isn't an end to that? Well, the end to that is basically you graduating. You're like, you went through all the shit. You've learned basically, you never fully are done, but you learn most of it, 99%. You see all how it all plays out. You see all the different layers of it. They're all very there's commonalities in them. You see it. You're like, okay, I get it. Okay, cool. Well, now that you get it, what can you do with it? Whose life are you going to impact? What joy are you going to spread? What peace? Like Jesus, you give your peace. You bring your peace back. What peace I leave with you, peace I give to you. What joy, what peace, what bliss do you spread? Do you grace others with? That's a very powerful thing, guys. It's a very powerful thing. You're not fully aware of how powerful it is because you can't see all the layers of the tapestry that's playing out. You can't see it because you're so physical. But energetically behind the scenes, it is moving it is shifting shit. Hardcore. So as you're initiating, it's becoming lighter and lighter and lighter and opening. It's like a flower that's opening, it's blooming, right? And then now you're this flower that's like up on stage and everyone's marveling at the beauty of this fucking gorgeous flower. It's like, oh, it takes your breath away. They're fucking so gorgeous, beautiful, like the essence of beauty. You have that. You are that. So you do the dark night of the soul. You do the dark fucking decade of the soul, you know? You're like, what the fuck, man? Like, what? Why would I choose to just be like, just such horrendous suffering? Why would I choose that? Why? Because it's the polarities, man. You must physically experience and know the depths of hell sometimes to truly appreciate where you're going to ascend to. It's like, you know, started from the bottom, now we're here, Drake, right? Started from the bottom. It's like, and it's not even like a physical, like money, like started, I had nothing and now I have everything. Yeah, that's one small aspect of it, is being scarcity, and then now you have the abundance. But it's also in how you perceive. That's the way greater lesson, man. Because from there, you can turn any scarcity-based reality into an abundant-based reality. You don't need the money and the things necessarily, guys. Where I go, I can shift the energy of that room. With a kind word, with a smile, with a gesture, with a good deed, with a, you know, a blessing. That is abundance. It is abundance embodied. And that's why I say, well, when you're doing the good deeds, when you're doing the good shit out there, man, that is fucking hardcore shit, man. People don't realize how hardcore that is. Me putting up these videos, me getting through to just a couple hundred people, however many people watch my videos, right? I have a couple thousand subscribers. Eventually, maybe it grows, right? But the small nucleus of, you know, Darius family that watches these videos, me touching your lives and me impacting you is worth more than the billions of dollars I could inherit. It is a richness. It is just there's no money you can put on this shit, man. And that's why God could never grace me financially enough as a representation of what I have put out. Never. This is intangible shit. This is like shifting the consciousness of the earth shit. This is big, big shit that we're doing with this new earth. I watched these videos earlier, like in the last couple of weeks. I'm like, people are like, did you see, did you feel how like in the last couple of days the energy really shifted? Oh, did it? Oh, okay, maybe for you. Maybe you're finally catching up. Do you think that like the hundreds and thousands of years that have gone, that the energy wasn't shifting? You think there's like this threshold point now where like the earth is just, we're in the new earth? It's like, it's like, guys, this is it. This is it, guys. A couple of days ago, we've shifted into the new earth. It's a new timeline, guys. Oh, really? Okay. It's like, motherfucker, I was here months and years ago. Where the fuck were you? Not that I'm the shit, I'm just saying. It's like, okay. So you're basically, it's the person's mistaking their own personal evolution, their own individual personal spark, soul ascension as they're shifting. You're drawing wrong conclusions because you're still asleep. Because you're basically a clown and a charlatan. You think you know, but you don't. Because if you didn't think that, you wouldn't be saying it. You wouldn't even have the inclination to put up a video saying such a hilariously stupid thing. It's all layers of ascension, man. Everyone is at a different point and place on their ascended path. There's no magic day where it comes and everybody sees. It doesn't happen that way. But there can be an acceleration in it. There can be. But you can't just demarcate one specific day and say, okay, guys, today is the day that we stepped into the new earth. It is fucking illusory. It's nonsense. It's silly. Everyone's going through their own initiation process. Everyone's gonna, even after they awaken and see more clearly, there's still that final shit that they're purging. It's just like percentages scale, man. Like you can't even, there's no even like way to articulate it ever. It's just silly shit. I'm telling you. Like Jesus talks about these false prophets, they're gonna come. You know, a lot of false prophets in the spiritual community. They think they fucking know, they have no clue. They're regurgitating their own ego. They're regurgitating stuff that they heard mentally that they think sounded cool, and now they're saying the same thing. And you can tell by the delivery. You'll watch these videos and they're like these little snippets, and like there's like they're cutting things out and they're like pasting things together, and there's no fluid like creativity channeling of an energy because they're not there themselves. They're like, oh, I'm going to start a channel. I'm a spiritual teacher now. And it's like you read The Power of Now, you read The New Earth, and now you think you're a spiritual teacher. Fucking silly shit, man. And so that person it's an arrogance. That person will be humbled. They will be humbled. They will, it's like, you know, in like a nasty way of putting it, they will get what's coming to them. It's like, oh, I'm contributing. It's a good thing. I'm lifting people's spirits. Yeah, but you're putting out an incorrect message, which is going to make those people reach the wrong conclusion. And that is a very heavy karmic thing that you're creating. And that karma comes onto you. So be very careful with what message you put out. Be very careful with the words that you choose. Sometimes the words are going to choose you. They just flow through you. At that point, you just kind of let go and let the thing come out like I do. Okay. It takes me wherever it might get me into trouble one day. I don't know. I've already made peace with that. But at least I know it's true. At least I know it's coming from the Holy Spirit. Ooh. Yeah, that is what it is. But you're on this like initiation process. You're in the dark night of hell, dark night of the soul, you know, getting the crap beat out of you. You're purging stuff, you're awakening, you're the whole, whatever different labels, shadow work, whatever different labels you want to put on it, it's all one massive initiation process, man. Even after I've had the final clarity, I'm still being initiated, man. Because because as the one individual spark soul that I am, I will always, as an ego, I will always, as a mind, have likes and dislikes and personality. Okay? And all I can do is just align myself as much as possible with God's will in a moment, however I recognize that to be. And I'll never have a full scope of it. I can never have that. Because like I say, we are limited in this physical. You can never be truly expanded knowing. You can't, you get glimpses into it, but you can't stay there. Because now you have to come back and interact with this world. You have to do stuff, don't you? You have to talk to people, don't you? Well, when you're doing those things, you're basically grounding your energy into this physical. So when they're saying like you're channeling and you're grounding in the energy, you're anchoring it in. That's what you're doing through this channeling embodiment of the soul spark that you are. That's all it is. And then different people start waking up, and it's just like different little beacon lighthouses, points of light, some brighter than others, some more diminished than others. That's all it is. That's how God would see it, right? He doesn't even see us physically because he sees everything inside of us. We're like just billions of little cells and little molecules and atoms and just light and sparks, and that's all we are. Even in the physical, he sees right through us. There's nothing hidden. And he's all of those things in us. And it's fucking magnificent. It's so like I say, it can't help but like kind of shock and terrify your mind because it is just too utterly expansive of an understanding. It will never be understood there. And like I say, like the sooner you make peace with that, the sooner you get there. So embrace this initiation process. If you're going through some fucking hardcore shit right now, as insane as it may be to say this and have this attitude, yes, sir, may I have another? Like, show me what you got, God. Because the sooner I get it over with, and it's not like I say, like that's also illusory and chasing that kind of thing. The sooner I get it, when's it going to end? You're putting this destination point outside of you. That is also illusory, but it does kind of work that way linearly in time. It does. Sooner or later, the stuff does come to an end. It did for me. And then now I'm in a place where only I, like individually, mentally, with my ego, I'm the one that's going to enact more suffering and add more karma. But if I was like 100% of the time, fully conscious, in every waking moment, perfect. Like Jesus says, like, be perfect. He's saying like be the embodiment of the law. Be like the full embodiment of the 10 commandments, like how he was conditioned into that. In his eyes, what perfection means is like literally being, you never lie, you never are bad, you never have a bad feeling even. You know, like he says, like with adultery, right? It starts in your heart, like that, even just that, the inkling of a thought of you lusting for someone else is the seed of the adultery within you. That's the contaminated heart, right? So when you perfect yourself and you, as much as you possibly can, remove that contamination and fully align yourself every moment, how much karma could there possibly be in that place? At that point, it's just action and consequence, and very, very just like, and you kind of already see these things playing out because your intuition is making these things known to you as you're stepping into them. Whether there's this like very harmonious balance that plays out, you know, and then the moderate state takes over, the middle way takes over, and you're in it. It's beautiful. So don't. It's guys. I know it's so much easier said than I know. Trust me, I know. I know all of this shit that I ever talk about is so much easier said than done. Hey, just be perfect. Just embody this. Just be this. Just like, hey, get rid of your insecurities. Just don't be afraid. It's very easy to say that. I know. I get it. I know. But right now, while you're being the initiator, right, while you're being initiated, there is some effort involved, man. You do have to try. Because if you don't try, then you're just going to sit on the couch, you know, like a fucking couch potato, just like, oh, I guess I'll just kind of ignore this thing that's been fucking gnawing at me. Like, I know I should be doing this, but I probably don't want to do it. Okay. Who else is going to do it? Who else, man? That's why I said, like, for me, it was this like kind of half-assing spiritual path, and I got a kind of half-assing result. Once I finally drew the line in the sand, I'm like, I have to fucking do this. I did it, and then it much more quickly accelerated. That's all it was. God, it's like if God is keeping you stuck and you're in neutral and you've like maybe even like me, cut yourself off from the outside world. You're a hermit. You stay inside all the time, and you have. Is there no better opportunity than doing it right there and then? What else are you doing with your life? Do the meditation, man. Do the fucking prayer. Do the introspection. It's like you watch a video of mine, you watch other videos, you read books. At some point, you got to get inspired and actually sit down and do the actual work. The turning your attention on yourself internally. That's where the magic actually happens. You could sit and just watch all the videos and like do all the 999 hertz meditations and pineal gland expansions and guided meditations and grounding your energy, you know, with your feet in the sand. You could do all that shit, Reiki sessions and all this shit, and it will not make any difference until you finally consciously choose to do it yourself on yourself. That, like I say, that all that shit's weak comparatively to what you can do. How you can personally accelerate your own growth. So the initiation keeps you stuck. The dark night of the soul, the shadow aspect, the grubby, nasty shit keeps you stuck. You feel lost. What's my purpose, right? You ask these questions, it's telling you, hey man, come on to this path. Your liberation lies there. Your freedom, this expansive soul place, this merged self place lies there. Will you go after it? Will you stop chasing the illusory shit and actually try and chase the stuff that really matters and discerning between that and making sense of those things? It's there for you. You have that power. And like I say, reclaim it.